What's going on, guys? My name is Nadeem, and today we're going to take a look at the battle point shop and see which characters you guys should be upgrading. So of course, battle points, you get them by finishing a game in League, and once you get them, well, you might be wondering who you should invest in. Well, the obvious answer would be anyone you're working on, right? Let's say you have a level 85 koala, you want to max her, you enjoy using her, then you do that, right? Maybe you're interested in using a Dogstorm strategy where you kind of get him up, use his skills, get attack buffs, and then transfer it to your opponent. Then you want to work on Dogstorm. Sure, that's the obvious answer, but let's take a look at people wondering what's the most optimal and who are the best characters. So, characters like Uruj, Kiku, and Snake Man are very solid choices, even Perona, but they're not the best. They're not gonna get you super far into League. Which characters are? Well, there are two. Two that I definitely recommend. The first one is Red Runner Law. Red Runner Law is the best in my opinion because he's amazing for your support, but he's also amazing as a character. He has a good counter, he has a good heal, he has good skills, good traits. Everything about him is very, very solid, and he's definitely a very, very strong unit. The best one to work on. The best one to work on. Now, he's not the best, right? I did put him in the top 15, unlike Marco Ace, but I think Law fallen off a bit, and Ace may be a bit better than I thought. So he's definitely top 15. And Marco Ace can get you far. He's going to be hard to use. So odds are, if you're taking advice from this video, you're probably new to the game, but Marco Ace, he's tough to master, but when you do and you have the good builds on him, he is so strong and he can carry you far into SS. So very solid choice in Marco Ace and Red Law. I mentioned a couple other solid choices, but these are the two that are going to get you far into SS, right? Even though Snake Man is solid, he's not as good as he used to be. He's still good. He's still good, right? Rouge is still good. Prona's good. Chiku's good, right? All these characters are good. Doji is somewhat decent. All these characters are decent, but they're not the ones a new player needs to focus his time and effort on. Now, the more important thing is these. These characters are good for your support. These plus Red Runner Law. Why are these good? Well, Luffy has tons of traits, right? Same as Law. Zoro also, this blue Zoro here is very, very solid. And depending on who you have and what you're working on, then you might, mix and match different units. But this is the foundation. Once you have these guys built, you're set, right? So all Luffy's, great choice. If you have more attackers, then you want to build the attacker ones. If you have more defenders, then you want to work on the defender ones. And if you're obviously working on defenders, then you also want the ones that have Grand Line, right? So these three, the three Luffys that are highlighted at the moment, right? These are all good choices. Snake Man, probably the best one. And Blue Chopper, another very solid choice. This one, right? Because this one has Grand Line as well. These two have New World. And odds are, if you want Zoan, you also want Grand Line. So this one is definitely the best chopper to work on. Now, every Luffy is good, all right? Because Luffy gives you Straw Hat Pirate. Some of them will give you Grand Line, some New World. They will give you Attacker or Defender. They will give you Paramecia. They will give you Captain. And Worst Gem. Some of them. So, very, very solid. Very solid. Work on all the Luffys, right? And then for the Zoans, why Zoans? Well, if you're using a defender, some attackers as well, but mainly defenders, you want the tag Zoan Grand Line. And all the free-to-play Zoans are here. And there are 6. So you can get a full Zoan tag for free. Now, yes, it's going to take time, but it can happen, right? And yes, it means you cannot work on the green units, but even pay-to-win players with the Bounty Pass cannot work on the green units because there are very few, right? So these are the ones that you definitely want to work on. And this plus Red Law. Yeah, Marco Ace is a solid unit, but he's not the best for the support. So these are the best ones for the support. And so, of course, if we click here, we go to Zoan, right? These are the all that are highlighted, but Zoan Grand Line, the best ones are these 3 plus this Chopper. So very, very solid choice there. And what does Zoan Grand Line do? Well, they both give you damage reduction. So this one against the same elements. If you're using green, well, you're going to take damage reduction from green units, which is why Katakuri, for example, or Mihawk can tank a lot of Roger hits, and Zoan gives you against people you're weak against, right? So these are the units you want to work on. Hopefully this helped you guys. This is not the end-all be-all. You cannot just work on these units and call it a day. As a whole, it's a good foundation to have, but you cannot just work on this, right? So let's take a look at an example of my red team, right? So as you can see, I have other guys like this guy who's free, but maybe you missed out on him. And I have Sengoku, who's a Zone Grand Line, who's a Bounty Fest. I have this guy who's a Bounty Fest. But you miss and match the team so you can get as many tanks as possible. So with this, I get a Tanker, Strat, Pirates, Zone, Grand Line, right? And some other stuff. So this as a whole doesn't work, right? This combination just doesn't work. You're not getting anything, right? You're getting Strats and Grand Line, but you kind of want to add more zones and stuff like that. So of course, if you put this guy, for example, then you get your full zone. Okay, well, I can't do that because already there's a Luffy. But basically, this is not how to work it. You can work on all the 6 zones if you want, but just 6 Luffys doesn't work, the colors and stuff like that. So you can work on the 6 zones, but yeah. So hopefully this helped. If you guys need any recommendations or tips like that, feel free to let me know in the comments. If you guys also think I said something wrong, maybe I forgot a good unit and stuff like that, do let me know as well. And I'll favorite all the comments like that. And then people can read the comments and hopefully benefit from that as well. So that being said, guys, hope you enjoyed. Peace.